Hey Flosstube, Ashley here, boogiestitcher on YouTube, _boogiestitcher on Instagram, coming to you guys with a normal WIP update. Man, I think I need to start recording these videos significantly sooner because I have an entire couch full of cross-stitch patterns I have stitched on. September was a back-to-school fall, autumn stitching bonanza, right? Is that the right word? Bonanza? Event. I got the baby here who likes to try and grab things. He's trying to grab the camera. So yeah, we have some sewing projects, we have some crochet projects that I'll show all at the end, but we have lots of stitching to get through. Fairly long video and kind of a crazy one with a teeny tiny trying to grab the camera. So let go. Let go. Let go. What are you doing? I have to bribe him with something else. I don't know if I can record this one-handed. Let go, honey. No. 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 No, honey. I don't want you to. Nuh-uh. No. Yeah, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. Now you just think it's funny. Come on. This is what it's like to try and record with a crazy. What are you doing? Look, go. There. We got a little bit of cartoons on, I guess. Okay, let's try and distract the kid long enough to record this video. Okay, lots of stitching. Let's just dive right in. I might show things that I've already shown or haven't actually stitched on because I don't exactly remember what I've stitched on because it's been so long since I've done this video. A regular WIP update. But first things first, I stitched a little bit on the tinkering girl here. So I've just been working to fill in these blue little baubles here. I'm gonna try and go a little bit fast in this video just because it's gonna be so long and the teeny tiny is very easily distracted with my things. Okay, here's where we're at so far. I've filled in some of this bauble and some of this bauble. I'm just trying to finish filling it in. It's really hard to see because it's a stamped kit, so let's show you the back here. So not a ton done, but I do really love this one and I love the colors anytime I get it out, so there we go. And of course the camera's not in a really good position anymore because he's crazy. Okay, let's throw this one away. You guys might be a little bit bouncy because I had to pull my couch out because he kept pulling all my projects off of the couch and throwing them on the floor. So then I pulled the couch out and put the camera on the floor, but then he started grabbing you guys, so I had to put you on the couch so you guys kind of move when I move, and sorry about that, but in order to get this video done, I just have to do it, and he refuses to sleep, so that's just, it is what it is. All right, next up we have Washing Castle. I have been craving my full coverage project, my big full coverage projects. I have an art designs. I have some that are not Hades and just regular, like Washing Castle. I've been craving them, and so I've been trying really hard to work on them. I'm now filming one-handed because he has a hold of the camera. So this is Washing Castle. This is one of my very first projects that I got, my first full coverage project. This was purchased by my husband as a Christmas present for me. And let me see if I can do this one-handed, get it out of the bag and everything. Honey, can you please let go? Let go. Here. Play with the project instead. Okay, so for Washing Castle, I finally finished the page that I was on and continued this page into the next page. I do have like a couple of ninja stitches that I haven't finished, but I'll finish those because there's there's a lot of these stitches over on this page, so I was gonna stitch them kind of all at the same time. I have started doing the what is it called? Royal Rose for my Heaven Earth Designs and big full coverage patterns. I'm really liking it. You'll see later in the video, but I have picked up some of my Hades where I was stitching cross country, and I'm really having a hard time trying to find all of the holes and everything that I left. So So I'm really liking finishing as I go. Not necessarily following all of the rules of the Royal Rose. I have been kind of just picking a color, filling it in, picking a color, filling it in, but trying to kind of follow that like area. So here is the whole thing of where we're at so far. Okay, next up we have a Sal that Abby and I are stitching. We have taken this pattern and split it into 12 parts, and we're stitching 1 part a month. So I'll go ahead and insert a picture of the pattern right here. We're calling this our Mermaid Sal, and I am loving this pattern. It's so much fun, so cartoony. It always feels good to stitch on. Yeah, looking really good. So I have stayed up to date with this, although it's a new month now, so I will need to start working on the next part. But here is the whole thing. We got my little sea or starfish like needle minder that she made me, which is so fitting for this pattern. And the back stitching is making all of it look super cute and perfect. This is stitched on 14 count printed Aida. I've never had printed before, so it's completely white, and then it's printed like a bluish, turquoise blue, which is so hard to catch on camera, but anyway, so far I'm really liking this fabric. It feels really good, and I'm liking this project as well. Next up, we have a project that I'm stitching with Nikki over at Thread Maiden. She sent this pattern to me as a gift. I'll hold it back here, otherwise it's really hard to see because it's kind of a blurry pattern picture. Yeah, I absolutely love this one. She is crazy far, significantly further than I am, but that's kind of how it is with all of my styles, just because I'm a slow stitcher. I stitch on, well, not necessarily a slow stitcher, but I stitch on all bunch of different things. So I have a hard time like getting things done because of that. But I have made some good progress on this one. She also made me a little needle minder that she sent over to me, which is so cute. I'll take it off the pattern so you can see it. It's a little Polyjuice Potion needle minder that she sent to me, which is so cute and so sweet. So I have it on this pattern. Now I gotta put the needle minder back on so it doesn't get lost. Okay, this one I did start full cross, and I have switched it over to be 10 stitch. I just couldn't stick with it. So I have the hat completely done. He is full cross and 10 stitch, and I guess I lied. There is a little bit right here left of the hat, but doesn't he look so good? I absolutely love him. He's amazing, and I love the colors and everything. So all of this is full cross. This is where I started the pattern off as, and now I'm coming down here to do some of Hogwarts down here. So to see the back, so you know what I've done, that's where we're at so far. So I'm a huge Harry Potter fan if you're new to the channel. So much so that I actually have like a huge tattoo piece coming up soon where I'm just gonna get an entire sleeve of Harry Potter. I love everything Harry Potter. I wouldn't say I'm like the... Thank you. I wouldn't say I'm the type of fan that knows every single detail of Harry Potter, but I just love the movies so much, and you guys will all be shocked to hear I have not read the books, so I need to get going on that as well. But the movies were just such a great part of my childhood, and I still watch them several times a year. I love all of them. Next up, we have my fall gnomes. And this one hasn't gotten too far, but I have stitched on it a couple of times since unboxing it. And here's where we're at. Again, this is stitched fully 10 stitch. This is all like background leaves. This is just one of the first gnomes hats. So I haven't gone very far. Here's the back. But it's super cute. super cute. I've really been feeling the holiday stitching lately, so I have, or seasonal stitching, so I have a lot of autumn pieces because of the whole September event that we did. Also, I've just been feeling a lot of Christmas and Halloween-y things too. All right, next up we have Gamer. This is Gamer. Very much in love with this pattern. I got a fair bit done on her since I last showed her. I might need to take her out of the hoop actually. Yeah, I might need to. Okay, so this is in a little hoop cover that Abby sent over to me. It also has my little Halloween needle minder that she made for me as well. But I've gotten so much done on this one that I think I need to take it out of the hoop to show you all. Because it would be a shame to not. Actually, I think just taking it out of that will help. So here's where I've gotten to so far. So last time I showed you guys, I was over here stitching on her face and up here. This time I've stitched all of this right here. So, is that? Yeah. So I've almost finished the banner. I've done a ton of the background and I'm just trying to finish this, filling in the holes right here. And then here's, I don't really want to take it out of the hoop because it's in a really good spot, but here's like the whole thing. And here's the back. Actually, while showing these, I should probably get all my hoops back too. Well, yeah, I'll take it out of the hoop because I'm gonna take out, I'm trying to use, like reuse needles and needle minders and hoops instead of just having everything kitted up because I'm running out of everything. So I guess I will show you without the hoop because I'll take it. So here's the whole thing. And then of course we got our little hedgehog. Henry the hedgehog. Yeah, you tell him. Okay. Next up, we have one of the my big full coverage projects that I created myself on Pick to Pat. I did about 90 or so stitches on this one. This one is the Phoenix. I don't have a picture, so I'll insert a picture right here. So yeah, not a ton done, but I at least got about 92 stitches done. I'm just kind of just trying to fill in right in here and fill in all these hanging stitches. I am missing some colors, as you can see, some holes. But later in the video, I'll talk to you about my new storage system, and that should help filling in some of those holes. All right, next up we have an oldie. I wasn't sure what I wanted to stitch on, but I wanted to stitch on something old, so I gave my husband a few options. I think I said Sleeping Beauty 1, Sleeping Beauty 2, Cinderella, or one other one, and he picked Cinderella. So this is what the pattern looks like. Last time I had done this stepsister right here in full cross. That was before I knew about tent stitching on stamped kits. So when I picked it up this time, I started working on it tent stitch, and I moved straight up to the mother, evil stepmother. I also have my custom needle minder by Natalie. I'll put all of her and Abby's needle minder information in the description box down below, but this one is of my Daisy dog. It's a custom woodburned one. But yeah, so I just did all this. The biggest thing that I wanted to see with this kit is I wanted to make sure it had like a halo around her head, like the pattern picture did. Because this one doesn't have very many colors, it only has 21. So I wanted to make sure that this like purple halo was here. And if it wasn't, I wasn't going to be continuing with this. Again, I'm going to steal all of these needles, needle minders, and hoops so I can have them all back. I like to do this every once in a while so that way I know where everything is. All right, I have enough time to show one more before my battery dies, and then I'll have to charge. So next up we have Joy Sunday that my husband got for me. This one I've been trying to do one strand a day, although I've been significantly busier than I thought I would, so that's been a lot harder to do. But if I miss a day, I just try and put in several different strands instead, but I definitely am slacking on this one. Okay, so yeah, I've been slacking on this one, but here is the total amount that I've gotten so far. So just the blue and the light blue right here. I'll show you the back. And this one is a 14 count Joy Sunday, so I am doing this one full cross. I attempted to do it 10 stitch and I just wasn't liking it on the 14 count. Next up we have another Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. Super pretty. This is mini morning blue. And again, not a very big start on this one, but I did get about 97 stitches on it so far, or at least on my last stitching session. This is 3/1 10 stitch on 18 count Ada. Next up we have another Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. This one, so I don't have to do a bunch of editing, I'm going to pull up my pattern pictures now since the teeny tiny is sleeping. This one is Indigo Fairy. Heaven and Earth Designs pattern. This one, again, this was the first pattern I attempted, the Royal Rose, and decided I really like it so far. But here is where I've gotten to. There we go. Not a ton, just a lot of background. This is a very big project. And I got my little custom needle minder made by Natalie. This is my kitty cat, the Fat Bean. But yeah, pretty good. This one, I got a fair bit done on this one. I think I got about 700 stitches on it since the last time you guys saw it. Next up we have a new start since the last time I spoke to you guys. As soon as I find it. I have all the threads in here, but okay, I'll just skip it for now. Do a different one instead so I can find the pattern. Okay, this one is Mini Moon Charmer. This pattern picture has definitely seen better days. Kids have gotten a hold of it. This one I've gotten for about 500 stitches on it since the last time you guys saw it. And this one is stitched 4/1 10 stitch on 16 count Ada. Definitely one of my favorites, and again I am starting the Royal Rose over here. I am missing some colors to fill in some of these stars, but I'm working on getting those colors. As you can tell, definitely been craving the big full coverage pieces lately. That's probably because for the fall stitching, we did all like small counted. Bed. So I've definitely been feeling the full coverage. And I have to set aside all of my autumn starts. Alright, next up is a new start. I don't think this one was an autumn one, but it's new to you guys. Let me pull up the pattern picture here. This one is Flower Galaxy by 2x2 Stitch, I think. 2x2 Stitch Art. And here, this is normally stitched on black Ada, but I chose to do it on Fiddlers, which is like an oatmeal colored Ada. I'm also doing this one 10 stitch as well, so this is stitched on 18 count 3. Did I do 3 or 4 on this one? 3 strands, 10 stitch. So here's the whole thing so far. I really am loving how this one is turning out. Again, I'm glad I didn't do it on black fabric because I do like the way it looks on the fiddlers. Next up we have a new start. This one's pattern picture is terrible, so let me find the picture of it for you. Hopefully I can find it. There we go. My daughter picked what I stitched on, and this is what she chose. So this one, I did another one or have another project that's by the same artist or same style, and her face looks like a zombie. So I wanted to do this one just to make sure that her face looked okay, and that's all I did was her face, which looks pretty good. So this is her looking up into the stars basically. So here's her nose, her eye. I definitely think the purple in her cheek needs to be softened more. So I will need to do that. But yeah, she doesn't look too bad. It's just right here. And then there's like a little bit of blue stitching right there. But so I decided to continue with her. She's okay in my book for now. Next up, I've been stitching a lot of my watercolor girls lately. So here is one of the ones that I did. So I worked on her some more. And I don't even remember where I left off at. Let's see. Oh, that's right. I just, so last time I was in the process of filling in this background. I finished filling in the background in all these ninja stitches that were at the flower. And then I scooted over to do the top of her hair because it had just had like a little bit filled in right there. I finished filling in her hair and above her head. So this is one, yeah, I really love this one. I love all of the watercolor girls, honestly, and her face, if I would get the thread off of her nose, is beautiful. With her pale eyes and her nice shading on her face is really nice. Next up isn't a new start or anything yet, but a planned new start. I was gifted this pattern by Kimberly on Instagram. She's a fairly regular follower. And she gifted me this cute little pattern right here and then some fabric for it as well. So I've never really stitched on linen before, so this will be definitely a good experience. This is a linen, I don't know if it necessarily tells me the color. Yeah, it doesn't tell me the color. Oh, Lana Silver, it looks like 32 count. So it's like a silvery color. But I plan on starting these two. I just have to kit it up. So, but yeah, she's cute. She's called Spirit Woman. But it's a pattern by Swigart. So I'll be starting her soon. And still moving on with the oldie theme, I got this one out, although I didn't stitch very much on her. I think I just started trying to fill in all of the missing ninja stitches on her. I started her like 2 years ago, 3 years ago maybe, for my mom's birthday, and yeah, I definitely need to get going on some of my old ones. Okay, is this one of the, yep, that's one of the Halloween starts. Okay, next up we have Pokemon. So this one I store in my Pokemon bag that Don Murray made for me. And this is a custom created pattern. And I'll show you the whole thing because it's been a while. So here's the whole thing. We have all of Squirtle done. We have Charmander's butt. But I actually worked on Bulbasaur. And I worked on his bulb this time, so I've done most of this right here. Just trying to fill this in. I want to see his bulb and all of Bulbasaur done, so that way I can start working on the background. And because it's hard to see, there's the stitching on the back. Okay, that's it for the first basket of things that I've done. Let me put all this back in the basket so it's not complete chaos really fast. All right. Next up, we have another watercolor girl. This is my Cosmic Girl. I'm pretty sure I showed you guys her last time, but I stitched a fair bit on her. Alright, so last time I showed her, I'm pretty sure I had all of her face done already. This time what I did is I came up here and I started stitching the back, right? I finished the background over here and then started filling in the background over here. So just trying to fill in the background to match up now, and I'm going to work the background like this down to her face, and then I'll continue with her body. Again, I am very happy with all of the Watercolor Girl series faces, but just in case, I always do the face first. You never know. Next up, we have my Lighthouse. I don't have a good pattern picture, so let me pull up the picture for you. Right here is the picture right here. And still not a ton done on this one. When I originally started this project, I started up here in the corner. Not a very big stitching session. And then my daughter told me that I should start working on the light for the lighthouse, which is right here. So again, I probably have maybe 200 stitches done on this, 300 maybe. So not very much at all, but it was work done. Next up, we have another Watercolor Girl series. This one is a new start for me. This one is Mermaid, which is so cute. She's got like little shells and coral in her hair. It's adorable. And this one, I decided not to start with her face because I was confident her face would look good with all of the other Watercolor Girl faces looking so good. So here's what I've gotten to so far. This red symbol is like the only thing that's not done in this background right here. And I'm just working my way over to her face. But I did want to start with the background this time. I'm trying really hard not to leave a bunch of holes. With stamp kits, it's fine. But with big counteds, I just can't do it anymore. It gets way too confusing. Alright, we have another Watercolor Girl. Trying really hard to stitch on all of them lately. I didn't get very far with her, but I did get some done. This is Pomegranate Girl. Here is her picture right here. She'll be super pretty when she's done. And this, what I did is I just filled in this area right here. So I had this done and some of her face, and I just moved over and continued filling in the background. This is stitched on as tint stitch, although her face, a lot of her face is full cross, but I'm converting it to tint stitch. Next up, we have a gifted kit, not a new start. I believe I showed you guys last time, but this is gifted by Thread Maiden. I love teacups. I love porcelain. This mixes the two together along with a little castle like in the back. Well, not a castle, more like a cottage. But still, it's absolutely stunning. I love this pattern, and so I needed to show it some love. And this one, I have a custom needle minder. This one is another one of my beach ones from Abby. It is a poured resin. And here's what I got to so far. Don't those trees look so good as background? So yeah, it's looking really good. I love the details that I'm getting here. That's like these trees right here. So as the light adjusts, there we go. But yeah, so working right here, and as soon as I get to here, I'm just gonna work my way down, I think. Maybe I'll continue working over, I'm not sure. And take the needle minder off there. There we go. Okay. We're gonna pause right there while I continue to charge my camera and move some of this off of my couch so I have more room to show you guys the latter half of the video along with some of my crochet and other things as well, so stay tuned. All right, moving on, we have another oldie. Feeling all the oldies and all of my, I've had some new starts, but I've definitely been feeling these ones for sure. All right, this one is my my warrior, another watercolor girl. She's actually, no, she's not a watercolor girl, excuse me, but she is one of my girls. So last time I stitched on her, I was just working on this background. I did fill in some of this background, but I decided to come over here and start filling in some of above her head, just like I did with the paladin. So all these gray stitches are filled in from trying to fill in the background. I didn't get a very long stitching session on her, and then kind of forgot that I was stitching on her, but I did get some decent progress for the small stitching session that I had. Next up, we have a new start. This one is I want to call him my Harry Potter owl just because he's got like a little sorting hat or a little wizard hat on him. Super cute. Abby's been dying for me to start this one lately, so I went ahead and started it. I am still stitching on him, so I am going to keep him in the hoop. But here's where I've gotten to so far. I did all of this confetti stitching that's over here, and then I started on the hat. So not too far, but definitely a good start for just starting this last night. Okay, next up we have not a new start, but when I first started him, I didn't get very much done on him, so kind of a new start, I guess. This one is Severus Snape's silhouette, and then we got, you know, the book and Albus Dumbledore and Harry Potter. We got Hogwarts. So this one I definitely needed to get some really good stitching in on him, and I did. Super excited with where I've gotten to so far. So also when I first picked him up, I was very sad because I thought Hogwarts was going to be more up here and the colors were just not showing, which is why you need to continue stitching until you get all the stitches filled in, and then you can adjust, because Hogwarts is down here and I didn't even know, but he looks so good. And all of this stitching is completely done right here. This is like reflections in the water. Started with his hair. Yeah, it just looks so good. So I'm super excited about this one. I've done this one the last couple of days. Next up, we have another, not new start, but restart. So this one is Stardew Valley Fall. My husband got this one for me when I was pregnant with our last son, Teeny Tiny. He got it for me when I was having all kinds of morning sickness, and definitely made me feel better. If I can find the picture. There it is. So here is Stardew Valley. This is the version with the kitty cat. There is another version with the dog that she sends with you. So I originally started this one on 28 count. It was way too small of a count, especially since this pattern comes and the stitches are sorted by 5s instead of 10s, which is really confusing. So I switched this one up to be on 18 count Ada instead. And here's where I've gotten to so far. This one also doesn't work in Pattern Keeper, so it's just really hard to kind of follow. It's definitely a small stitching sessions pattern. but I'm loving it so far. All right, next up we have another somewhat oldie. We have Beauty and the Beast. And this one I've gotten significant progress on since you guys last saw it. So of course I have to take it out of the hoop so you guys can see. Because it is a good amount of stitching. Good amount of stitching done. I'm so happy on how it's turned out. Alright, this one was started as full cross. I converted it over to 10 stitch. Last time we had talked, I had just finished up this background right up here and was about, and did the tip of his ponytail. And I was about to start on him, and look, I've done him. Not fully. I think this is the front of his face. This is just the side of his profile. But he is missing a couple stitches right there and a couple stitches right here. But look how beautiful they are. I love them. They're so cute. I love how it's turning out. It's looking beautiful. Here's the full thing. Again, I'm almost to his face. I am like, I haven't reached his ear yet, I don't think. Yeah, that one stitch spot that I haven't stitched yet is his ear, so I'm just about to do his face. As soon as I do his face, I'll come back up here and do this background up here. Yeah, I love this one. I'm trying really hard not to get burnt out on it too, so I've just been stitching a little, moving on, stitching a little, moving on, so. Seems to be working okay. Okay. Next up, let me see if I have any more that are not part, yes I do, okay. They're not part of the autumn stitching thing. All right, next up we have my ginormous Alice in Wonderland pattern. This one is huge, terrible pattern picture. Let me pull up a new one. I was gonna say I have a picture of like everything. All right, here is the pattern. And my favorite part of Alice in Wonderland, and I don't know why, it just is the oyster and the walrus and the carpenter. And so that's where I started. I do have one string that I still need to cut. Actually, let me do that because it's gonna drive me nuts. Do I have any scissors? All right, so that is what I've done is I just started working on the walrus. There is his face. I am not happy that you cannot see any eyes. There is no eyes on there, so I will have to try and stitch some in or back stitch or something because I see no eyes. I see a nose, but yeah, I don't see his eyes. His eyes are closed, but you can't tell. So there we go. His eyes are closed, but you can't tell that there's eyelids or eyes or anything at all, so I'll just need to backstitch probably some little eyelids in there for him because that's gonna drive me nuts. But other than that, looking good so far. All right, next up is a new start, I believe. I don't think you guys have seen this one yet. No, you have. This is Long Dog Sampler Fish and Chips. Now, funny story is I thought it was called Fish and Chips. Here in the States, that's deep fried fish and French fries. And so it will forever be known to me as fish and chips. That's just what I call it. And it makes me hungry for fish every time I say that. So here is fish and chips. Yeah, so here it is so far. I've just been working on filling in the whale. The light will dim down here in just a second. Continue dimming. Oh, there we go. It's kind of hard to see this bird right here, so I might need to change him up a little bit. But we got a little crab, we got the outline of two birds here, we got a little anchor. I think these guys are supposed to be some type of bird, I'm not sure. And then we got the whale, so I've just been filling in the whale, and I did a little bit more background, and that's just a string that needs clipped. Again, with the strings that need clipped. I normally just clip them whenever I don't know, I'm not feeling lazy. There we go, all clipped, see? So, there we go. Looking good so far. I'm really loving this one. This one is stitched with a bunch of variegated floss that I got on Amazon. Oh, don't ignore that. That's just like the background color. There we go. And I'm just stitching whatever color I feel in the mood for at the time. So no rhyme or reason for any of it. I got these colors specifically for this pattern and I'm just doing whatever, basically. Next up, I have to see, yes, next up is a new start, I believe, for you guys. Maybe not. This is Opossum. And here is super cute little possum with a banjo. And I am stitching this one on black fabric as per it's called. It doesn't work for Pattern Keeper, which is kind of a bummer. Everything that works on Pattern Keeper is significantly easier for me, but here's where we've gotten to so far. Not too bad at stitching. I've only stitched on this one twice. It is kind of hard to work on black Ada, so I definitely have to be in the mood for it. And I can't really be working on it around the babies because babies are crazy and it's really hard to focus. Let's see. I think everything else is... Nope, I have done a little bit more on this one. Next up is from the same artist, the Mama Witch Stitch, right? Yeah, Mama Witch Stitch on Etsy. This one I did not stitch on a black Ada, which is called for. I wasn't feeling it. This one is just on a printed creamish peach color fabric. And the pattern is this one. This one is like a pattern that's kind of from Over the Garden Wall. We had finished watching that show. We finished watching Over the Garden Wall and I saw this pattern and I had to get it. So here's what we've gotten to so far. The hoop is like sideways, so it's actually supposed to be like this. So we got the frog, ladybug, and a little couple pumpkin flowers. And this is the hand of the pumpkin person. But yeah, super cute on that one. I love it. Okay, I think that is it for stitching. Yes, that is it for stitching. Okay, everything else that I stitched on was part of the September back to school autumn stitch along. So I did this with I was Phoebe, which is Emma. I think that's how you pronounce her Instagram name. Sally Ann Crafting, I believe is her Instagram name, Sally Ann. And then we have Abby and then myself, and we all kind of, for the most part, picked different patterns, although Abby and I think picked all but one pattern that was the same. So let's get to it. First things first, I'm not gonna go in order of what I stitched first along. I'm just gonna show you everything that I did stitch. So I worked on, this one is from Al Forrest Embroidery. It's one of their free ones. It's, do it carefully, okay?
I can't.
It's, what is it called? The pumpkin color autumn is the name of it. This one I'm stitching on 18 count Ada, and I was gonna do a 10 stitch but decided it wasn't working, so I decided to do it full cross. And the tiny little pumpkins are so cute. But that's all I did so far. Alright, next up we started. Is this a star or is this just dyed fabric? This is just dyed fabric. There we go. This is stitched though. All right, next up I stitched on a freebie. This pattern is the Witchy Stitcher. It's one of her freebies on her website. And I did change it up. I'm using a Tolly, which is like a sparkly black. Helps if I showed you what the pattern was. View. Here is the pattern. So I'm actually switching this up. I switched the black to be a Tolly so it'd be shiny. And I also, instead of a purple moon, I'm switching this to be a witch's hat. So I drew over the pattern just by myself, made a cute little hat over the top, and that is what I will be stitching it as, is a witch's hat for witch. So here's what I've gone to so far. I just have to now count out where the cauldron is, start stitching the cauldron and the hat. This is on 18 count Ada, that's self-dyed. Okay, we're almost done here. Almost done. Next up, we have, which one is this one? This magazine is called, I just had it and I lost it. Where is the name of the, there you go, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Jeez Louise. Anyway, the pattern is Seasons of the Heart Autumn, which is just a super cute, really teeny tiny pattern, which is adorable. Stitched on 18 count fiddlers, and I almost got half of it done. I did pretty good. Really love how this one was stitching up. I am stitching a 10 stitch, and as you can tell, the little stems are different, so I might switch that stem to be more like this stem. Other than that though, I do like how it's looking in 10 stitch, and I don't mind it at all. Okay, next up, we got two more for the holiday or autumn stitching. This one is the Witchy Stitcher as well. And this one is called Holiday or Halloween Greetings. I gotta switch it off of the pattern. Not supposed to show patterns. There we go. So here's the pattern. Super cute little pumpkin guy. And I, again, amazingly got super far in this one as well. This is also 18 count fiddlers, Ada. I'm stitching this 10 stitch, and it looks super good 10 stitch. I am super happy with how it's turning out so far. And I just love the little moon and this little guy. He's so cute. So I think I'm about 60% done on this one. And for just starting it, that's freaking amazing. Okay, last up, we have one more from the magazine. And this one is, I don't think it's called Trick or Treat. It is called Trick or Treat. Designer is Barbara Anna. So here is the pattern. I will be switching up this pattern. I want the skirt to be yellow with white dots, and not a white skirt with orange dots. So that's the only thing I'll be switching up on this pattern. Again, 18 count Ada. This one I hand dyed myself. Turned out super cute, and the kitty guy is lurking so awesome. I'm stitching this one 10 stitch as well. So this is a great start. Look at him, I love the little eyes. Super cute. All right, that is it for my cross stitching. Now I'm gonna pause the video, charge everything up, and we will talk about my sewing and my crochet and my floss storage that I've been working on. So stay tuned for all of that. All right, I forgot one. let's see, I have 1 minute left of recording. So treasure hunt bookshelf. I am trying to fill in some stitches. This is an example of things that I was stitching cross country and it's driving me absolutely crazy. I have all these ninja stitches and I can't find out where I am. So I'm trying really hard to just go through and fill in these stitches, and then I will start stitching Royal Rose. So this is where I'm at so far. Now we'll get on to all the other stuff. We will finish this video eventually. It's like later in the day, I keep trying to record this video and the kids, yeah, it's like when the station comes out, the kids go crazy, the recorder comes out and the kids go crazy. Okay, now that we have finished up all of the stitching part of the video, we are going to talk about some of the other things that I have been doing. I didn't grab any of my quilting. I will maybe show that in a different video. Don't feel like getting it out right now. But I have done some crochet and I have done some sewing. So I have done some sewing of bags. Now I follow no particular pattern. I make up my own pattern and I just do my own thing, and each one I sew is different. So I'll just quickly kind of show you guys what I've stitched. So I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. This is one of the bags that I have stitched. I like the book sleeve style bags, but I also like to have like a little top over because baby grabs things off the couch all the time, throws it on the floor. At least if it has like a little tab to like fold over, it will stay, all the stuff will stay in there. So there's that one. And of course, you can't do anything without a Marauders map. So we have a Marauders map project bag. So here's this one. And we have the Deathly Hallows with some micro fleece on top. Super cool. We got some thinner bags. These ones only have like one side. It has like fleece in the middle and the other side is just cotton. I was running out of fleece, so I decided to do that. Here's another thinner bag. Another Deathly Hallows symbol. This one is just a regular book sleeve. You can see it's no tab. These are like the normal style that I make, but I was trying to make like bigger ones because some of the book sleeves I do make are kind of small. So I was trying to make a little bit of a bigger one, but you can only use so much of the fat quarter, so I didn't feel like buying more fabric. Here's another one. Another one. And two more. Book sleeve with a Velcro style closure. And then I decided that was way too much work with the Velcro and just made a really big book sleeve. So this one is my biggest book sleeve that I have, which is perfect because it fits a really big hoop in there. I think this is an 8-inch hoop. Fits in there perfectly and padded and everything. This one turned out really good. That's it for the sewing besides the quilting that I've been doing. Last up we have a couple of crochet patterns. During the fall, autumn, colder seasons of the month, I tend to crochet a lot of things or want to crochet a lot of things. It's just kind of what I do. So I found this yarn while I was searching for some other yarn. A little bit of backstory. I was crocheting myself a sock and the kids saw me doing a sock and they're like, well, I want a sock and I want a sock and I want a sweater and I want a sweater and I want a blanket and I want a blanket. So the list just kept going like on and on and on. I was like, ah! So anyway, I was looking for all my thread and here's a little baby hat. I'm almost done. I just need about 2 more rows and then I'll do the edging on it. But yeah, I thought this was perfect for fall. And then the kids requested sweaters, so I had to rip both of these sweaters out 5 times because of sizing issues. I made the pattern up myself, so I was having a really hard time with the sizing of things, but I finally got it figured out. So here is a sweater for my daughter. These will have hoods, so I didn't bother doing any sort of like V-neck or anything. It's just a straight across neck, but super soft. And this is, what fabric is this? Of course, neither of them have tags. I'm pretty sure it's the Karen yarn Halo. I think Halo is really soft, but this is the color that she chose. And my son's, he chose the same type of yarn, but he picked a different stitch. Oh, that's the back, excuse me. He picked half double crochet instead of the single crochet. So there's that. And again, his will also have a hood. And he picked these colors. So this is super soft. And of course, I wanted a sweater. And so I was given a bunch of yarn, and it just happened to be all like fuzzy yarn. So I started myself a cardigan. Of course, I made up the pattern. So I have no idea what I'm doing, but I have a little bit of cardigan made. I think the only thing that might be a problem is this closure. It should have been like a V-neck or something instead of just a flat closure, because I think it's gonna hang a little bit funny on me, but that's okay. It's not a big deal. So here it is. Yeah, not too bad. I'm just making the colors that were given to me and making it up as I went. So I think I only had to rip out like 2 rows so far in this. So not too shabby. Like I said, it's just gonna be a long cardigan that I can wear over one of my black dresses with some boots or jeans or, whatever. So, yep. That is it for crocheting. That is it for my sewing. That's it for all my stitching. I have a lot of planned new starts. I think I have a lot of planned new starts here in the next end of year. Stitching with my stitching friends. And they're planning all of the crazy starts. No, don't let me fool you. Most of them were my idea too. So we are going to be starting a no new starts starting after my birthday. So we will be starting January 9th, except minus 1 birthday start for Abby. Her birthday is later in the year. So we will be doing that all the way through July 1st. July 1st will be, well, I guess June 30th is our last like no new starts day. We've been going crazy with the new starts lately with the September thing, and now all these plans like Christmas and Halloween starts, and another long dog is coming. So yeah, lots of new starts and crazy plans. And so we decided, okay, we really need to get going on some of our older projects. So if you would like to join us, then feel free to just, tag me so I can see your guys' progress or any new plans that you guys have. I love to see all of those things. Let's see what else is coming up. Oh yeah, my end of year WIP parade will be coming. I normally do that, record in December or first thing January around my birthday. So stay tuned for that. And last but not least, I just got done doing all of my floss storage. So floss storage, let me grab all that stuff. So I used to have my whole main stash on these floss cards. I have them with all of the DMC numbers, and I have like 15 of these or something that I had all of my floss on. Problem is, I was using my main stash to stitch all of my Heaven Earth designs and all of my full coverage, and it was driving me crazy because there's so many holes. I would use my stash, obviously, to kit up any new projects that I had, but I wasn't kitting up any of my HAEDs. And so I would have to use this main thing, and it had a ton of holes in it. And I found out once I finished doing what I was doing, even more holes than I thought I had. So I was getting really frustrated because anytime I wanted to stitch a Heaven Earth Designs pattern, I was missing a color. So I really do prefer to kit up any patterns that I have, so that way if I take them to sporting events, I can stitch on them, or friend's house, I can stitch on them and not have to worry about taking my whole stash. Not only that, but these were starting to get super tangled and very dirty, just dusty and fuzzy, just from being used and from my kids throwing them on the ground. welcome to kid life. But they did stay on these for about 2 years. It worked really well for me. If I didn't have kids, I'd probably continue using them like this. And I should have just filled up all the holes. I will go ahead and insert a picture right here in just a second of what I started with, the total chaos. Inserting right here. So yeah, I was just throwing all of my DMC in bags, labeling the bags by 100s, but anytime I needed to kit something up, I couldn't find anything, and I still have a whole bag of like floss bags that I was using before even this method that I still need to sort through. But here is what I have moved to, and I will let you guys know if this works or not. So my local craft store, Michael's, or these are also sold on Amazon, sells these photo storage bins. It's a big clear plastic container with a handle and like a closure, and you just open it up, and each of these is like holds 4x6 photos. So what I did is, in 2 of them, I was able to fit the entire DMC collection. I just labeled them. I created my own floss drops using folded over or folded in half cardstock. And I wrote the DMC number on there, put the floss, had a little hole punch for any extra thread that I have. And then I have nicely folded them up in here like this. So you have everything, you know, from this number, was it 372 to 500 in this bin. And any that are missing, I have the floss drops over here in a little pile. And I also have a manifest of all of the colors that I'm missing as well on just one single cardstock sheet that I will use when I'm going through all my extra floss to like finish filling all these holes. So two of these, there's 16 of these little containers. 2 of these bins filled was the whole DMC collection. I ended up getting 1 more of these because I have a main stash, which were on all of these. But then I also have a ton of extras because I used to kit up all of my Heaven Nerd Designs patterns, and I would buy all of the colors no matter what. Now when I'm kitting things up, I just take a part of a skein, whatever you want to call it. I just take a little bit of that and then spread it throughout all of my projects because you don't go through skeins very quickly. So I decided that would be the cheapest option for me since I have so many of everything. So that's what I'm doing right now. I got done converting all of these cards to all of these, and I am in the process of sorting all of my extras in these containers as well in like a different set. Then as soon as I have 1 more bag, like I said, of just all of the floss away bags. I was using like snack size Ziploc bags, which worked perfectly for a while until I had too many projects and I was like, I can't do this. So I have 1 more grocery bag full of floss bags that I need to grab those out of the bags and either put them on the floss drops or grab the skeins and put them, skeins, I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway, and put them in the containers. And then I need to go through the containers and fill all the holes in my master set. So this will be my master set. And then I have another one of these containers that I am then using as my extra set. So hopefully that all makes sense. I'll let you know how I get on with this. So far I've used this once because one of my heads was missing a couple colors. I just went to this, looked for my color, grabbed a couple of threads, put it back, and all was well. But I will be using this to kit up my heads again because I think that is just better for me. I don't think I'll be able to use the floss drops because that's too much for my brain for kitting up the Heaven Nerd Designs patterns. But if you look on the back of these, I used to have my heads kitted up. So this one still says D&D Girl with all of the numbers on it. So I'll just use these again for the projects that I had them originally kitted for. As you can see D&D Girl. I think one of these is, yeah, Treasure. there's treasure hunt bookshelf. So that's really funny. So I'm just gonna use these for kitting back up my Hades. It'll be perfect. And then I just need to continue going through my extra set so that way I can fill up my master set, so that way I can kit up my Heaven or Designs patterns, so that way I can stitch on them more, because I've been dying to stitch on them, but not having them kitted up is extremely, extremely difficult. So, okay, that is it, I believe, for this super long video. If you stayed till the end, then wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all for watching and reaching out. If you need a talking buddy about cross stitch or just want to say hello, leave me a comment, send me a message on Instagram. I'm happy to talk to every single one of you. I hope you all stay safe, stay warm, and take care. Bye.